keeps you passionate about being in customer experience? You've been in the field for a while now. What keeps you motivated and still, really passionate to be in the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little passé, but I think my primary answer is just like helping people. Every morning I wake up and I sit down at my desk and I help. Well, at this point, I don't usually directly help people, but I help people, which is just as rewarding, if not more.
That's so meta.
That's I don't know. It feels on brand for me. But yeah, I really enjoy that process. There's also a really fun. It's why I'm so interested in beta testing and like working with product and teasing out all of these puzzles. There's this act that you do as a good CX manager of sort of like reading the air and teaching people to read the air, even in something as straightforward as a live chat conversation, right? I remember a perfect example is I remember launching live chat at a company that didn't have it yet, and I had an agent who was like really struggling with it and was like, I feel like I'm in these chats like forever and I can't close them out, and I don't think I'm doing this right. And so I worked with her on a couple of them, and the solution we arrived at was like, oh, yeah, your approach is a little off, because at least in our company's case, live chat is different from email, because email is where you solve the problem. Because we had sort of a complex software. Things took a while to tease out in many cases. So what I had to tell her was like, live chat is not that. It's not for solving the problem. Live chat is for getting to the problem. And then you say, okay, great. I fully understand what's going on right now. Let me go and, check on a couple of things and get back to you in like half an hour, and I'll send you an email, and we'll finish this out. And from that point on, where she was like, I get it. I've got it. And so like that, teasing out those puzzles and teasing out that customer psychology is just like never going to stop being interesting to me. I love that.
Probably my favorite thing that you said earlier that like kind of stood out to me was that, people don't want to email you, and it's not, some people do want to email you. It's just I understood the point, yeah. Right? So it's like, they may want to chat with you. They may want to call you. They may not want any interaction with your company, and they're going to go on, I think my first behavior for a lot of stuff that I use is going to be like, oh, I can't figure this out. I go into Google and I type in the exact problem I have.
Yep.
And then I just I go through it self-serve. I'm a technical person. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty savvy. But then there's stuff that I just don't freaking know. Like, I don't know some of these technical tools that I need to go through. And I'm just like, help. Somebody just help me, because I don't know enough about this to do it myself. So I'm going to go into a chat bot and say, please help me find somebody to help with this. Or, I'm going to do a little more due diligence. And it's like that orchestration, right? That there's it's a symphony of support and resources you're providing to your users to give them a good customer experience. Because it's not just phone support or email support or live chat support. It's like, no, it's probably all of them, because each problem needs to be solved in a certain way. Mm-hmm. Just kind of what you said about the chat, right? I'm getting to where the problem's at inside chat. Sometimes I'll solve the problem in chat, but maybe I need to get somewhere else to solve the problem.
Yeah, I think that's a really huge distinction for like modern CX and customer support that isn't, again, that sort of like customer service where like we're going to throw a bunch of people at a call center who are going to give them a discount because they're really angry about this thing we're not going to fix. There's another trend that I didn't bring up that I think is really exciting, because I've wanted it as a CX leader for a long time, is the element of storytelling in CX. I think a lot of platforms are now referring to it as like immersive experiences, but what I see it as is like on the agent side, being able to see the full story of, what was the customer doing before they reached out? What page were we on? What buttons did we click? Who did they talk to before they got to me, and what did they say? and offering that entire chain of events to really understand, first of all, why they're contacting you, but secondly, like where they're at in the process of contacting you. For example, one of the reasons I have a bias against social media support is like social media is where your customers go to like, how do I put this for a podcast audience? To light something in your office building on fire, to let you know that there's something bad going on, right? Like that's the only time I've ever gone to Twitter for customer support is when I've exhausted all other options. And now I just need to like throw a grenade and be like, this company sucks unless they help me in the next 15 minutes and everybody knows about it now. Like that's what social media support is for. So again, it comes down to that customer psychology of like, if I see a ticket and the originating point of that ticket is a Twitter thread, I already know it's bad news. As compared to like an email or a live chat where it's like, it's neutral, we're figuring it out, like it's already, DEFCON 5 there.
Panic button was pushed.
Exactly. So
Context.
that kind of figuring those kinds of puzzles out too, because it's different at every company. Figuring that stuff out is just the context is a lot of fun for me.